I am Carmel. This is your daily download. You can go to www.beingandbecoming.life to find out how I, as an intuitive, can support you through these tumultuous yet healing, hopefully, times that we are in. I've just pulled out 4 cards that I am going to do a download on today. And I'm a little bit blown away by the magnitude and intensity of these 4 cards. And it's not surprising. It's a pretty wild time. There's a lot of, let's just call it fucked up things going on in the world right now. And some of us see it and some of us don't. And I don't think we see the full picture no matter how much we see. So when I pull something like this out, it's really interesting. I don't profess to predict the future with the tarot. I don't believe they're a great divination tool. I do believe they're a really great pathway into the self. And as each and every single one of us are a node of consciousness, I see them on a more macro level as a pathway into consciousness itself. So if I look into consciousness itself right now through the microcosmic node of these cards that I've pulled out for me, I think we get a really good picture of what's going on a macro level to a certain degree. But these are certainly true for me right now. So take it or leave it. If I don't make any sense to you, turn me off. That's the beauty of this, right? So I've pulled out, I always do an inner and an outer when I lay the cards. So the inner is the inside of you, the being part of you. How are you being? Where is your consciousness being at this time? On the outside of you is the outer, the doing, how you are becoming in the world at this time. And that's why my website is beingandbecoming.life. It's how we be the life that we are and we become the life that we are in every single step that we take, right? In every breath, in every heartbeat, in every moment, we are being all that we came here to be in this now moment, and we're becoming all that we came here to be in each now moment, right? There's a process. We're here and now, and past, present, future is all unfolding at the same time. You can rewrite your past and you can rewrite your future. It's up to you. I've got these 2 cards. For those of you that know the tarot a little, you'll know the Tower and the Star both come after each other. The Tower first, then the Star. A tower moment in your life is about a crumbling. It's a deconstruction. It's a falling down of the structures that have supposedly kept you safe, supposedly kept you, working life for yourself in a way that is great and holds you. You can look at the Tower as a home before it collapses, or a home life before it separates. You could look at it as the World Trade Towers before they fall down. You could look at it as a community before an earthquake hits it. You could see it as the fires that rage, that burn down all the structures, You could see it as a virus that goes around the planet and crumbles life as we know it and has us really look at things differently. There's many different ways you could look at this. You could look at it as a crumbling marriage, a kitten doing something strange. No, you could look at it in so many different ways, but just think, what are the structures that hold you up in the world? When they're falling down, it's because the ground upon which they're built is not sturdy, strong, authentic, and with the right amount of integrity to hold it up and keep it sustainable. In these times, that's what falls down. So what you thought was keeping you safe crumbles, and you have to reassess life. And you have to go, wow, none of that makes sense for me anymore. This is a pivotal time. It's a time for reassessing who you are, why you're here, and what you thought was holding you safe, what you thought was keeping you secure, what you thought was holding you up in the world doesn't exist in the way that it used to. When the Star is crossing, that's all we're being. We're being on the inside. We're being in the fall of the structures that are keeping us erect at this time. potent time for receiving a card like this, because it feels so true in my life, especially like everything that's held me up, my family dynamics, where I live, the country I live in, the structures of society and the way that society works for me at this time, or now doesn't work in different ways, because of decisions and choices I'm making to maintain my sovereignty and to work my own solutions into my life. Life has been changed and the structures have fallen. So, but in that is the star. This is what comes next. This is where you're in the rubble and you're feeling into the star. You're seeing the star, the North Star, that your true north that guides you out of the rubble, out of the mess, out of the fall, into what's coming next for you. Here we sit going, okay, what I thought was the worst possible thing that could ever happen, it's happened. It's like the worst is over. It's happened. Here I am. Now, where is my guiding star? My North Star, my guiding star. Where is it at the moment? And you can see it through the rubble. It might be an inkling that you feel in your heart. It might be a flutter that you have, the nervous anticipation of what might now be possible, because that's all fucking fallen down. There's all sorts of things that could actually emerge now as we step into the unknown. The Hanged Man, though, is here, right here and now. It's going to take a voluntary sacrifice now for a greater good later. And it's going to help us shift perspective. It's going to help us really tap into what is seeking to emerge from within us at this time. How do we align with our own true north so that we can activate our own sovereign solutions from the source codes that are layered inside the DNA of your precious human being? You know what to do. You're born for this time. So what do you do next that helps you pull yourself through what is emerging at this time, through the collapse of everything? And what comes next, those kittens, what are they doing? It's the world. This is a completion. This is a complete completion of a whole layer of development, a whole way of being. This is making it through the major arcana cards, all the developmental cards. This is making it through the line of the major arcana that says, who am I? Who am I in this world? Then it's making it through the next line, which is like, oh my God, everything I thought I was, I'm not. And it's through the deconstruction of it. And you cannot come out of that second line unchanged. You just cannot. And so when you go into the third line that ends and culminates in the world, in the major arcana of the tarot, you go through a alchemization. You started off, who am I? Then you went through, I don't know who I am anymore. And then you go through, oh, there's a whole rebirth here. I'm a whole node of consciousness expressing itself with all of these superpowers. Here you know you know how powerful you are. You know how strong you are. You know how insightful you are. You know how you can use foresight over hindsight to make your way through things. Here's where you're tapped in and turned on. Here's where you know why you chose to be born at this time. The downfall of that card is that then you start in a whole new world that you have no idea what it looks like right now. No idea. And the cool thing about that is that when you're in not knowing and you just keep going and not knowing, but you move from the integrity of your heart and the authenticity of the sovereign solutions that you're implementing in your life because you're you, then it doesn't really matter what terrain you're walking, because you're open like a child with wide-eyed astonishment and wonder as to what's going next. And you get really curious. What is this new world? What is possible here? What is going on now in the world and inside of me, now that I've let those old ways of being crumble? How can I show up now in light of everything that's fallen, that no longer holds me stuck in the box I used to keep stuffing myself in so I didn't shine too bright? Now's your time to shine, baby. Let's do this thing. So it's hard, it's tricky, and it's painful, and there's a lot of suffering in it. There's a lot of disconnection from relationships and ways of being in the world. It's scary. It can be really scary. So it's nice to have a container held so you can explore what's seeking to emerge from a safe place. That's what I'm here for. www.beingandbecoming.life.